archaeological discovery related to biblical Ark of the Covenant potentially contradicts ancient texts, according to what media is saying now. The leader of the archaeological excavation in question described their efforts to determine the site's purpose and the time of its construction as a fascinating intellectual adventure and a serious riddle to decipher. The efforts of Israeli archaeologist Israel Finkelstein yielded an intriguing discovery at a hill in the vicinity of Jerusalem, which may possibly be related to the Ark of the Covenant. Hydra reports, and according to the newspaper, although Professor Finkelstein's excavation did not yield the Ark itself, it uncovered a ritual site, quote, where it's believed the Ark was probably placed, end quote. At the start, he said, we found large supporting walls that artificially created the flat hilltop. The archaeologist said while describing the dig, saying the question was how to date them. We had to prove it was a construction from the period of the kingdom and then determine which period exactly. A difference of 50 years gives a total different historical framework. As Finkelstein explained, trying to establish the purpose of the site and the time of its construction turned out to be a fascinating intellectual adventure and a serious riddle to decipher, he said. He said one must always distinguish between archaeological findings and historical interpretation that may be debated. We didn't find an inscription on the wall stating that King Jeroboam II built it. We reached that conclusion based on a whole array of considerations, he said. The newspaper points out, though, that these findings appear to contradict what's written in the Hebrew Bible, specifically in the first book of Samuel, which states that after 20 years in which the ark was kept at Kiryat Ye'arim, the site of Finkelstein's excavation, King David brought it to Jerusalem. The problem is David ruled in Jerusalem in the 10th century BC, much earlier than Jeroboam, 8th century BC. In a Zoom chat with the newspaper, Finkelstein also remarked that, to the best of his understanding, although David and Solomon were historical figures, they only ruled a small territory around Jerusalem rather than a large empire. The idea of the glorious United Kingdom of Israel that extended from Dan to Beersheba is, I believe, he said, an ideological and territorial manifesto that was written in Jerusalem and promoted the ambitions of the monarchy in the late 7th century BC. After the Assyrian withdrawal from the land of Israel, he said, adding that the writers of the time are describing a glorious future kingdom. This is by Sputnik on Bennett Reality. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.